Hey friends, what's up? Man, my voice I think is still not back from IT Nation Connect. What an incredible experience. If I were to count the number of conversations I had, it was probably in the thousands. It was so amazing to see so many of you there. A few new faces that I've known online, but finally had the opportunity to meet. And let me just tell you, I absolutely loved all of the conversation. I feel like I go to these things more to learn from you than you would ever learn from us. And I really mean that because a lot of things stand out. I want to talk about a few of the big things that I'm seeing across the industry from all of the conversations that I'm seeing. The first thing is, of course, cyber insurance is the real deal. In my session, I asked how many of you have all 5 controls that cybersecurity need. You know, things like MFA everywhere, managed EDR, vulnerability awareness or vulnerability management, security awareness training, and immutable offsite backups. And every hand goes up. Yep, we've got those solved. Then I said, magic question. How many of you have 100% of your clients using 100% of these services? Not a hand goes up in the room. This is a problem. We're still in this break fix era of cybersecurity, and I'm not hating and I'm not criticizing. It's a huge, immense challenge that nobody has solved. And enter in cyber insurance that's forcing these minimum standards. And MSPs are really waking up to it. They're like, the light bulb goes off and they're like, I can use this in my conversations, both in new client acquisition, talking through being cyber insurance ready, and then also in incorporating this into my QBRs. As I talk with my clients, as I'm meeting with them and helping them understand, the risk is simply too great. So that's a big thing. And I'm seeing so many MSPs now forcing cyber insurance in your MSA. And that's a big deal as well. Now, we always talk, don't force minimum amounts, right? Don't say you've got to have $1 million in coverage at a minimum or $3 million. Don't do that, but at least require cyber insurance because the risk is too great for you and the risk is too great for the client, whether they know it or not. So I love seeing this just open up like crazy in the channel in all these conversations at IT Nation. So many thousands of MSPs jumping on board and knowing this is critical. The other thing that stands out to me, and I would call this a blessing and a curse, is what's happening with the economy. I'm not your economist, not your financial planner, none of those things, but we all know that a recession is likely looming. Now, that can be a scary thing, and it's causing MSPs to think, am I over leveraging myself? Am I going to lose clients as my seat prices continue to go up? Or do I worry about all of this and maybe don't make big changes because I'm afraid they're going to leave me if I increase the prices too much? There's a lot of concern around this, and it's having a lot of offshoots. One of those offshoots that I heard many conversations about is automation. MSP saying, I've got a good handle on IT automation, the classic stuff that an old school RMM is doing. But what about the future? What about cloud automation? What about cybersecurity automation? And there's not enough that's around you to address that. A lot of the larger vendors in this space are archaic and they simply don't allow you and probably will never allow you to go in the direction that you need to go. And so MSPs are thinking, how do I position myself for the future? One of those is I want to make sure that we can scale and grow our company without necessarily increasing headcount at a commensurate level. In other words, what if I can enable my staff to do more with less? And I don't mean less in terms of like I'm flipping things off. I mean, as we scale, we're not necessarily adding headcounts just the same way. That's what I mean. And that's a powerful thing because it's not just about this idea of how do I be more efficient so I don't have to hire more meatware, right? It's also about increasing satisfaction in your job. Imagine your analysts and your tier 1 folks and your security folks saying, I love my job more because a lot of the routine stuff is now been solved by automation. And that makes me more happy in my job. And I think that right there is what MSPs are looking for. In my conversations at IT Nation, a lot of MSPs said, where is automation going that's going to free my MSP up to grow at scale and capacity like never before? And that will protect my margins, especially when a recession may come and things get squeezed. Now, the other opportunity I see out of this is not just the fear of it all, but understanding that when a recession comes, cybersecurity is still critically important. It's one of those things that clients can't skimp on. They can't just not have in place. And so now is the time to get your ducks in a row. Now is the time to demonstrate to your clients the value that you provide. Now is the time before clients start thinking, well, what exactly is it that I need to turn off and flip off? What thing can I deal without? That's important for you to think through. Create your value now. Seize on that now and become that MSP thought leader among your clients that truly they don't think every month when the bill comes in, what am I paying you for? They think, I'm glad they've got my back because they make life awesome so that I and my business can scale and grow without having the worries of all the IT complexities. Now is the time. So those are the big takeaways that I saw at IT Nation. One is cyber insurance is the real deal. And two, the recession is coming, and with it comes a lot of impact. But I think for most of us, it's more opportunity than it is for threat if you leverage it the right way. I'm curious to know what you think. Let us know in the comments down below. Would love to know what your ideas are, your thoughts are, whether you agree or disagree, or you have other ideas or other conversations that enlightened you. Let us know. And lastly, if we can serve you, fifthwallsolutions.com/MSP. We'd love to talk to you about how we can help you solve your cyber insurance burdens and truly take your risk down and your revenue up through leveraging cybersecurity. Thanks, my friends. Talk to you soon.